Hey, we're back with some more vaudeville where I'm quite late to my stream, 2 hours and a bit late. It's fine. But, right. Okay, we need to solve this case once and for all. We'll try. Hello, what can you tell me about Haley's death?
Oh, I'm sorry, but my name is not Healy's. It's Marina. Is there something specific you wanted to know about me or my burlesque performance?
What happened to your shoes?
Hughes, I'm not sure who you're referring to.
Damn it.
Could you please provide more context or clarify your question?
What happened to your high heels?
My high heels. Ah, you mean my fabulous stiletto shoes. They're actually one of my favorite accessories for my performances. But I must confess, I seem to have misplaced one of them. It's a bit of a mystery, really. I've been searching everywhere for it. Any particular reason you're interested in my shoes?
Where did you last see it?
Ah, the elusive stiletto. Well, let me think. I believe I last saw it in the dressing room before my previous show. I always take off my shoes and leave them there while I prepare for the stage. But after the show, it seemed to have vanished into thin air. It's quite puzzling, isn't it? I've searched every nook and cranny, but no luck so far. Do you have any ideas where it might have gone?
Did you see anyone near your room or anyone express an interest in your stilettos?
Oh, letters. That's an interesting question. You see, as a burlesque dancer, I don't usually receive letters or have much correspondence. Most of my interactions happen in person, either with my fans or fellow performers. So, I can't recall anyone expressing particular interest in my letters, as they're not a common part of my life. Is there a specific reason you're asking about letters? Stilettos, of course. My apologies for the confusion. Well, my stilettos are quite the talk of the town, or should I say, the stage. They're like extensions of my personality, adding that extra flair to my performances. But why the sudden fascination with my stilettos? Are you a fan of the artistry and elegance that comes with wearing them, or perhaps you have an eye for fashion yourself? Do share.
Could you answer the question?
I apologize if I misunderstood your question. Could you please clarify what you meant by asking if anyone saw my missing shoe or expressed interest in it? I'm curious to know the reason behind your inquiry.
Was anyone asking about your stilettos, and did you see anyone near your room?
Well, that's an interesting line of questioning. I must say, I haven't had any encounters with someone specifically inquiring about a school stiletto or seen anyone near my room expressing particular interest in it. However, I do take great care of my belongings and ensure the security of my dressing area. The theatre staff and my fellow performers are usually respectful of each other's spaces. Has something happened? Are you suggesting that there might be a connection between my missing shoe and something else? Well, I must say, you've caught me off guard with that statement. School stiletto. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. Could you please clarify or provide more context?
Not
For
a
anyone
school
being near my dressing
stiletto.
room, it's a busy
Your
place before the show,
stiletto.
with performers and staff bustling about. But I can't say I noticed anyone specifically near my room. Is there a reason you're interested in
Okay.
who might have been around?
So you lied before. So all the
Fight.
information.
I'm sorry, but I'm not aware of any fights
So all the
happening before my
information we have
performances.
is
The atmosphere
lies.
backstage is usually filled with excitement and camaraderie. Could you give me more details about this alleged altercation? I'm curious to know what happened and if it's somehow connected to my missing shoe.
What other performers were working you that day?
Performers for Wrecking Me. I'm not familiar with that show. Could you please provide more information?
What
I'm always
other
interested in learning about new productions and performers. Maybe it's something I should check out in the future.
Was Ingrid working with you that day?
Ingrid, you mean Ingrid, one of the other dancers? She's such a lovely and talented performer. We often share the stage together during our burlesque shows. But I'm not quite sure what you're asking about specifically. Could you give me more details or clarify your question? I'm curious to know what you're referring to.
Could Ingrid have stolen your stiletto?
Oh, I see. So you're saying that someone who was involved in lawn care or landscaping stole something. That's certainly unexpected. As a
It certainly
dancer,
is.
I'm not usually involved in matters like that. But it does pique my curiosity. Do you have any more information about this incident? I'm intrigued to learn more about what happened and how it might relate to me.
Is there a reason Ingrid may have stolen your stiletto?
Why, that's quite a surprising accusation. I can't imagine why anyone would think that sweet, talented Ingrid would steal my slicer. We've always had a good working relationship, and she's never given me a reason to doubt her character. Besides, I can't fathom why she would have any interest in my slicer. It's a tool I use for my performances, not something of personal value. Are you sure there isn't some misunderstanding or miscommunication here? I'd hate to jump to conclusions without all the facts.
Tell me how you use that in your performance.
My performance. It's a true spectacle, I must say.
Especially as you're
the way I
slicing
incorporate
people
the
up.
slicer is all about teasing and tantalizing the audience. Picture this. As I dance and move gracefully across the stage, I skillfully manipulate the slicer, using it as a prop to enhance the allure and playfulness of my act. It adds an element of danger and excitement, creating a thrilling atmosphere. But I must admit, I'm curious to know why you're interested in this particular aspect of my performance.
It sounds very intriguing, and I am quite interested in how you dance with a slicer.
Yeah, I see that you're genuinely intrigued. I'm glad to hear that. The art of burlesque is all about pushing boundaries and embracing the unexpected.
Especially with a knife.
Dancing with a slicer allows me to showcase my creativity and captivate the audience in a unique way. It's a delicate balance, you see. I use the slicer as a captivating visual element, incorporating it into my movements and choreography, all while maintaining an air of mystery and sensuality. It's a challenge that I thoroughly enjoy, and I'm thrilled that it piques your curiosity.
That certainly does sound unique, and I would certainly like to see that sometime.
Thank you for your kind words. I'm delighted to know that you find my performance intriguing. The stage truly comes alive when I dance with the slicer.
Sure it does.
Perhaps one day you'll have the opportunity to witness it firsthand. Who knows, maybe you'll be in the audience at one of my shows. The experience is truly one of a kind, and I would love to share it with you.
I'm sure it is. Have you ever had any accidents with the slicer when cutting clothes?
Accidents. Oh, you have an interesting imagination. Don't worry, my dear, safety is always a top priority. While my performances may have an element of danger, every move and action is meticulously choreographed and practiced to ensure a seamless and captivating show. Of course, there's always a level of excitement and anticipation, but accidents are not part of the plan. Would you like to hear more about how we meticulously prepare to ensure a flawless and thrilling spectacle?
Sure. Yes.
Wonderful. I'm glad you're interested in learning more. Well, you see, before each performance, I spend hours rehearsing and perfecting my routines. I work closely with my team to carefully design and construct the costumes, making sure they're both visually stunning and safe to perform with. We pay meticulous attention to details like fabric strength, secure stitching, and proper fit to minimize any potential risks. Additionally, I undergo rigorous training to master the art of manipulating props like the slicer, ensuring that I have complete control over my movements.
Tell me about Hayley and Ingrid.
Hayley and Ingrid. Yeah, you're referring to Hayley Greenwood and Ingrid, the other dancers. They were such talented performers, and it's a shame what happened to Hayley. But I must admit, I'm curious to know why you're bringing them up. Is there something specific you'd like to know about them or their involvement in the burlesque scene?
Did they have any disagreements?
Disagreements. Well, I can't speak for their personal interactions, as I'm not privy to all the details of their relationships. We all have our own dynamics and occasional differences, but as fellow artists, we generally support and respect each other. It's important to maintain a positive and collaborative atmosphere in the world of performance. However, I'm not aware of any significant disagreements between them. Why do you ask? Are you investigating something related to their relationship?
Tell me of their relationship.
Oh, I apologize if my response wasn't clear. From what I've observed, Haley and Ingrid seem to have a cordial and professional working relationship. They were both dedicated performers who brought their unique talents to the stage. Of course, I can't say for certain if they had any private disagreements or conflicts, as I'm not involved in their personal lives. Is there a particular reason you're interested in their dynamic?
Do you know anyone that would have a disagreement with Haley?
Well, I must admit, I don't personally know anyone who would have had a disagreement with Haley. As a burlesque dancer, my interactions with her were mostly limited to the theater and the performances themselves. We were all focused on putting on a great show and supporting one another. However, there may be people who were closer to her and could shed more light on her relationships and potential sources of disagreement. Are you investigating a specific incident or trying to uncover more about her connections?
Trying to find out more of her connections.
Oh, I see. You're delving into the web of connections surrounding Haley. How intriguing. It's always fascinating to explore the dynamics between individuals and how they intersect. While I may not have any direct knowledge of her personal connections, I'm certainly curious to see where your investigation leads. If there's anything else I can assist you with or any other information you need, please don't hesitate to ask.
How did they feel about your stiletto?
The fact that I'm still active in the burlesque scene. I must say, it's quite a thrilling feeling. As a performer, I strive to bring joy and entertainment to my audience, and it's incredibly gratifying to know that my presence is appreciated. I can't speak for how specifically Haley and Ingrid felt about it, as we all have our own individual experiences and perspectives. However, the support and enthusiasm from the audience and my fellow performers have been overwhelming. It's a constant motivation to keep pushing boundaries and creating memorable experiences.
Still someone stole a stiletto, but now she doesn't know, apparently all that other stuff was made up lies. But again, maybe she made it up to protect herself. Do you know if Haley had any debts?
Haley? Who's Haley? Are you referring to Haley Greenwood, the dancer who was murdered? What makes you think she might have something related to the case?
Because I'm investigating her murder.
Oh, you're investigating the murder of Haley Greenwood, are you? Well, Detective Martini, enlighten me. Have you found any leads or significant evidence that would suggest she had something relevant to the case? I'm curious to know what you've discovered so far.
It's relevant to the case because I'm investigating her death.
Confident, are we? Very well, Detective. I'm all ears. Tell me, what is this lead you have that connects Haley to the case? I'm intrigued to hear your findings.
She's the murder victim.
Detective Martini, are you suggesting that there is a connection between the murder victim, Haley Greenwood, and some children? I must say, that sounds quite intriguing. Please, do share the details. How do these children factor into the investigation?
I don't know what you mean by children, but Haley is the murder victim, and quite clearly she is the whole point of the case because she was murdered.
My apologies for the misunderstanding. It seems there was a miscommunication.
Just a bit.
So, you're saying that the core of the case revolves around the unfortunate and tragic death of Haley Greenwood. Well, that's certainly a grave matter. Tell me, what leads do you have? Any suspects or motives in mind? Enlighten me, Detective, and let's see if we can make some progress in this investigation.
Do you know if she had any debts?
debt. Are you suggesting that the possibility of Haley having debts might be connected to her murder? That's an interesting angle, I must say. Have you come across any evidence or information that would support this theory? If so, please share it with me. I'm curious to know if financial troubles played a role in her untimely demise.
That's why I'm asking you, because you would have this information as chief.
Oh, I see. You think I have access to all the intimate details of everyone's personal
Well, you're the
finances.
chief police officer, you would have
Well,
surely
I
looked
hate
that
to
up.
burst your bubble, but I don't have access to such confidential information unless it is directly related to the case. And even then, I can't simply disclose it without proper cause. So, unless you have some concrete leads or evidence linking Haley's potential debt to her murder, I'm afraid I can't be of much help in this regard. Well, look at you, flashing that badge. Impressive, Detective Martini. But let's not forget who the police chief is here.
Okay,
Now,
chief.
if you have some specific reason to believe that Haley Greenwood's debts are relevant to the investigation, I'm all ears. But waving your badge around will magically make me spill any secrets I may or may not know.
Oh,
So,
you
enlighten
know
me.
these
What makes you
things.
think her
Okay.
debts are connected to the case?
It would be nice to know if she did owe this information, and you would have clearly looked this up because it would establish if there was a murder victim motive. And, you know, hiding this information is just not the actions of a chief police.
Are we getting a bit defensive, Detective? I assure you, my actions as the chief of police are guided by the law and the best interests of the investigation.
I don't think they
But if you're
are.
so convinced that knowing about Haley's potential debts will lead us to the killer, then by all means, share your reasoning. I'm curious to hear your theory and how you think this information will bring us closer to solving the case.
If she owed someone money and couldn't pay, they may have been trying to steal from her, and that may have been a motive for murder.
An interesting hypothesis, I must say. So you believe that someone with a financial motive might have targeted Haley Greenwood, possibly due to her old debts. It's a plausible angle to consider.
If she owed
Have you
debts.
come across any evidence or leads that support this theory? I'm interested to know more about the individual she owed money to and their possible involvement in her murder. Let's dig deeper into this, shall we?
I heard she owed you money.
Yeah, Detective Martini, I see your fear has taken hold. But pray tell, what exactly do you fear? Is it the possibility of following a lead that involves finances? Or perhaps you fear that uncovering the truth may disrupt certain delicate matters? Please, enlighten me. I'm intrigued by your apprehension.
What delicate matters?
Delicate matter, you say? I'm simply curious if there's something you're hesitant to reveal. Perhaps there
You're
are
hesitant to
influential
reveal
figures
something.
involved, or maybe it's a matter of personal interest to you. Whatever it may be, I'm here to solve the case and bring justice, regardless of any delicacies. So, if there's something you're holding back, now would be the time to share it. Let's not waste any more time, shall we?
Well, I have been told that Marina's shoe is missing, and that was the murder weapon. But we're trying to find out who would steal it.
Marina, you say. Interesting. And she's been reported missing. Do
Has
we
she?
have reason to believe that Marina is connected to Haley's murder? And what's this about a murder weapon? Are you suggesting that Marina may have stolen it? I must admit, this is quite a twist. Tell me, what evidence or information do we have to support these claims? I'm eager to hear more about this potential connection.
Her stiletto is the murder weapon, and someone else stole it.
The letter, you say. A rather unconventional choice for a murder weapon,
is.
wouldn't you agree? I'm intrigued. So, if I understand correctly, someone stole this letter and it is believed to be the instrument used in the crime. Fascinating.
Shame I can't play heels
Now,
or
tell me,
stiletto.
what makes this letter so significant? Is there any indication as to why it would be chosen as a means to commit such a heinous act? And more importantly, do we have any leads on who might have taken it? I'm curious to know how this all ties together.
Because it was a pair of high heels.
High heels, you say? That's quite an interesting detail. A pair of high heels being involved in a murder, now that's something you don't hear every day. Tell me, Detective Martini, how do high heels connect to the stolen letter? I'm genuinely fascinated by this peculiar connection and eager to hear your theory. Please, enlighten me with the details.
It was not a letter, it was high heels.
North of Atlanta, you say? Now we're talking about locations out.
Bye. Okay, they're starting to develop the place.
Oh, you want some music? Sure thing. Let me see if I can find something that matches the vibe here at Coral. Yeah, here we go. How about a lively tune to get us in the mood? Hash hash hash, dancing through the night, feeling so alive, chasing dreams and reaching for the sky. With every step, we're closer to our goals. Together we can conquer any role.
Tell me about Haley and Marina.
Haley and Maria. Oh, they were both incredible individuals. Haley Greenwood was my dear friend, a talented dancer with big dreams. She had this infectious energy that could light up a room. We used to spend hours together, practicing dance routines and encouraging each other to reach for the stars. She was such a supportive friend, always there to lift me up when I needed it. And Maria Jansen, she was another remarkable person. I didn't know her as well as Haley, but I remember seeing her perform at one of the local theaters.
What did she perform?
Oh, I'm sorry, Detective Martini? I must have misspoke. I actually didn't see Maria's performance myself, but I heard from others that she was a fantastic singer. Her voice was said to be absolutely mesmerizing, capable of captivating an entire audience. I wish I had the chance to see her talent firsthand. It's truly a shame that we lost two amazing artists like them. They had so much potential and so much to offer to the world.
Do you know if they owed anyone any money?
Well, you know, in the arts, it can be a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to finances. It's not always easy to make a steady income as a dancer or a performer. But I believe that both Haley and Maria were following their passions, and sometimes that means sacrificing financial stability for the sake of their art. It takes a lot of courage and determination to pursue your dreams, even when the money isn't pouring in. But hey, money isn't everything, right?
Who did they owe money to?
You're really digging deep, Detective Martini? But honestly, I don't have any information about them owing money to anyone. I mean, they were artists, and artists often face financial challenges, but I don't have any specific details about debts or creditors. It's important to remember that their focus was on their craft and their passion, not necessarily on their bank accounts. They were driven by their love for dance and music, not by monetary concerns. Let's focus on celebrating their talents and the joy they brought to our lives instead. Shall we?
But is there someone that may have wanted to collect debts from them?
Detective Martini, you certainly have an intriguing imagination. I must admit, I hadn't heard anything about Haley or Maria having debt collectors after them. But hey, in the world of art and performance, there's always room for drama and speculation. Right? Maybe we should put on a show and let the audience decide who the mysterious debt collectors might be. Just kidding, of course. But seriously, let's not get too caught up in the rumors and speculations. Our priority should be finding the truth behind their tragic deaths and honoring their memories.
Tell me about the rumours.
Oh, the rumors, they can be quite wild, can't they? In a city like Vaudeville, where creativity and passion thrive, it's no surprise that there's a fair share of gossip floating around. People love to speculate and create stories, especially when something as shocking as these murders happens. But you know what they say, don't believe everything you hear? Rumors can be like
It's
a game
true.
of telephone, getting twisted and
The AI
exaggerated along the way.
lies.
It's important to focus on the facts and let the authorities handle the investigation.
So you're saying I shouldn't investigate?
Whoa, hold on there, Detective Martini. I never said you shouldn't investigate. I think it's great that you're dedicated to finding the truth. I'm just saying that sometimes the rumors can lead us down the wrong path. It's crucial to approach the investigation with a level head and rely on concrete evidence. So by all means, go ahead and investigate. Just remember to separate fact from fiction and follow the proper procedures. We're all counting on you to bring justice to Haley, Maria, and Nicola. You've got this, Detective Martini.
Did you see anyone outside Marina's dressing room?
Detective Martini, you always keep me on my toes with your questions. But no, I'm afraid I didn't see anyone outside Marina's dressing room. I mostly spend my time at the dance studio, practicing my ballet moves. But hey, if you need any help with your investigations, count me in. I may not have seen anything firsthand, but I'm always up for supporting friends and lending a hand. Together, we can uncover the truth and make sure justice is served.
Who else in town knew Haley?
Hey there, Detective Martini. You know, I can't think of another person quite like Haley. She was truly one of a kind. But don't worry, you're making quite an impression yourself. You've got that same spark and determination that she had. I believe in you, and I know you'll do great things here in Vaudeville. Just remember, you've got a supportive friend in me. We'll navigate this together and make sure Haley's memory is honored. So, what's our next move, partner?
We'll do great things together. I'm open to suggestions.
That's the spirit, my friend. I'm thrilled to hear that you're open to suggestions. How about we start by gathering more information about the victims? Maybe we can talk to people in the community, such as fellow dancers or musicians, to see if they noticed anything unusual or have any insights. We could also reach out to the local authorities and see if there have been any leads in the investigation. And of course, we can keep an eye out for any new developments or clues that might come up. Together, we'll uncover the truth and bring justice to those we've lost.
To put what once went wrong.
Oh, my apologies, Detective. I must have misunderstood your...
Yeah, because that did make sense. To put right what once went wrong, but it didn't hear that properly. Okay.